How's it going, everyone? My name's Will from Ghosthack. Just a few days ago, Ghosthack surpassed 10,000 subscribers on YouTube. That's an awesome goal for us, and we're all super appreciative of everyone who has ever watched a video, bought a product, or interacted with us and the company in any way. That being said, to celebrate this, we just released a free package on our website right here for our 10,000 subscribers special. And this is a pack of percussions. You'll find like a bunch of different one-shot percussions. You'll find normal percussion loops, and you'll also get experimental percussion loops with this package as well. Again, this package is completely free. If you follow the link in the description on YouTube, it'll bring you to this page where you can enter in your email and get the download link sent right to you. So what I'm going to do today is I'm just going to take you through this package inside of FL Studio, and I'm going to show you how I would use it to kind of chop up and slice up a beat. So here it is. We have the experimental percussion loops. A lot of fun stuff going on there. We have one shots. And we have some normal percussion loops. Now I have to say I'm actually really a fan of the way these 172 percussion loops sound. They sound really useful in some kind of experimental drum and bass, so maybe I'll make a groove using those. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the starter bundle from the 2019 Advent calendar. This was a free giveaway, and I'm going to find some one-shots. Let's see, let me just take a kick. This one will be fine. It's not too heavy, not too pounding. And then let's take a snare. 2 and 4 sound pretty good, so I think I'm going to layer them. So I have a little drum and bass groove here using the drums. I have just the main kick as the kick. And then I have this snare right here is kind of a clappy layer, because I sort of lowered the low transient here. I brought that low harmonic down and turned it down in general. And then you have this snare kind of being the main snare. So now I have the pattern for a kick, the pattern for a snare, and the pattern for a ghost snare. So now you can see that once we have a rhythm down, it's only too easy to just take a percussion loop and drag it right in there, and you can see how it lines up. And that's just a really quick and easy way of layering it. It's not hard at all, it's just dropping them in. So I'm going to leave that down there, so it's sort of in the background. It sort of takes the place of the hi-hats and cymbals. So the next loop I want to take is actually this one. Because what I want to do is I want to take specific spots in this that I like, and I want to chop them up and sort of loop them in this beat. Like you hear this spot right here. It's sort of like sliding around and whipping around in a really cool way. So I kind of want to take that. So let's put this here, and now let's sort of just highlight this section. So now using this loop, you can chop it up and make little rhythms like this. And then just use that wherever you want them. And it sounds pretty good in my opinion. I'm going to put that one there. Then I'm going to make a different version for right here. So here I've just chopped it up a little differently. It goes from this to this. And there's another loop I want to add right here. But there's a couple problems. First one is that it's at 90 BPM while I'm at 172. If I drag it in, you can see it's almost twice the length of the bar we're looking for, but it's actually not that far off on that end. So what I would say is don't be afraid to stretch around these loops, especially since a lot of them are atonal. That is not really going to affect the key of your song by stretching them out like this. And now I can just take the half of it that I want, and it should line up with our beat. Except there's something else wrong with this, is that I don't want the low end. The low end sounds very nice and it would sound very good on an intro, but I really don't want it here. So all I'm going to do is just take an EQ and take out everything except that high end that I want. Yeah, that sounds good. And I think I'm going to add a touch of reverb. And the next thing I want to do here is actually use one of these percussion hits as like a bass sound. Like take this guy right here. It has some sort of tonality to it. I don't know what key it's in, but it has a nice rich bass tone that I want to use. So I'm going to drop that right there. So it turns out I believe this sample is actually in C. And then go into here. Yeah, that's pretty much in C. So now we can just use this to our advantage. And since I've loaded this into a sampler, like I just showed, we can play it like kind of on a keyboard. So let's make this track in D sharp. So now we laid down a note. Let's stretch this out here so we can make kind of a pattern. Yeah, that sounds very nice to use that as a bass. One thing I am going to do here is I am going to go into Maximus, and I want to make sure that the low frequencies here are completely mono. So let's make sure they're all just centered. The next thing I like in this pack is this loop right here. It sounds very natural and definitely sounds like it has some drums that would be good in like drum and bass. But as you can see, it's the wrong length again. And I could do what I did last time and just slow it down a little bit right here. So we can be just a little bit slower and be double time. It can be like double the length of these bars. But I think I want to instead speed it up a lot just by shortening it like this. And now it sounds like this. I really like the way that sounds. It sounds very kind of neuro drum and bassy. It's got a good groove. And what I want to do is I just want to take this last bit and then turn it down and keep it right here just to add some variation in the second part. Actually, as a matter of fact, what I think I want to do is I want to use this bandpass here to do something like that during that one moment. Like it starts here and then let's create an automation clip for this guy. And now it can go up like this. And I think this is going to make a really nice effect. And it's going to act as a transition for it to loop back around again. Oh yeah, that turned out really good. All right, and I think the last thing I want to do for this beat is take this percussion loop and I want to edit it and I want to grab a sample from this loop because there's some parts of this loop that sound tonal and I want to play those like an instrument almost the same way that I did with that percussion that I used for the bass line. So this is what this one sounds like. And there are some spots right around here that sound very tonal. So I'm just going to get rid of these and try to find the spot. The best ones appear to be just those first couple of hits. So let's just delete these. So now I have these two, which is just one spot in that loop, and I can normalize this one and we can see which one sort of works better. The second one is more noisy, however, I feel like the pitch is more pure, so I'm just going to go with the second one. So now I'll load up a sampler and drag this right onto the sampler channel. Yeah, now you can really hear the pitch. So I just pitched it down 4, so now when I hit C, it plays the note C. And now I can sort of make a pattern with this. So there we go. Let's lay down a D sharp because we are in the key of D sharp, and now we can sort of make our pattern. I don't know if I want it to be like a melody or some sort of ARP or something like that. I'll figure it out. It kind of has a nice rhythm. Yeah, that sounds good. And now let's just repeat it and then maybe make some changes on this side. Yeah, it sounds like a good groove. And we'll see how this sort of works with the rest of our beat. Alright, it doesn't work bad. It needs to be mixed in because it is hard to hear amongst all the other sounds. So I just EQ'd this a little bit where I rolled off some of the really screechy high end, and then I boosted sort of the low fundamental tone, as well as added a little bit of reverb, which is very tight. You can see the room is very small, and I brought the decay down a lot as well. And that will hopefully sort of help this sound to stand out in the mix. I also want to take this and duplicate it and maybe bring it up a couple octaves. That's up very, very high. And then I can kind of delay it. And then while holding shift, I can bring all of the high ones sort of down to here. And then lastly, I'm just going to add this little percussion right there. I'm just going to throw that right at the start of the kick and the snare. And after everything is sidechained, this is the little beat that I came up with. So thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to follow the link in the description that will bring you to this page where you can download this pack for free. Just enter in your email and the link will be sent to you. And once again, thank you guys so much for 10,000 subscribers. We really appreciate all of your support, and I will see you in the next video. Happy producing.